And now he's proving what we all felt with this new Don Finetti Racing team up there in Illinois. He's going to be a contender, I think, all year long.
Great sponsor. Split Fire has returned. 20 cars. You saw the grid at the top of the show if you were with us. A few surprises. I want to point out Pat Bordeaux from Saginaw, Michigan, Joe Bush from Hastings. We're going to hear more from this guy, and John Lemke, another one of the rookies. They were inside the top 20. They were the big surprises, and people like Jeff Neal and Randy McDonald found themselves having to work their way, as Rob pointed, through the non-qualifiers race.
There's the battle for 12th and 13th position. That's Ken Schrader in the ACDelco Chevrolet. Now, he's fallen somewhat off the pace. You saw how easily Neal dispatched with him. And now the leading rookie contender, Jim Cooper, is there to challenge with Bordeaux. That's Pat Bordeaux in tow in car number 44. So these two rookies chasing the veteran here today in this Great American Racing Series event.
Bordeaux, by the way, has an associate's degree from an institution of higher learning in video production. How about that?
Oh, is that right? Very, very interesting. Pat's a pleasant young guy. We want to get to know him a little bit better this year as he intends to campaign the entire racing season. He's a former track champion, as you mentioned, at a couple of the facilities on which these ASA machines will compete this year.
There is Gary St. Amant. He's already lost several laps in that Wynn's Spirit car, sitting in the pits with problems underneath the hood. He moves to the inside and lets the first 3 cars at least go by. Officially, St. Amant is 2 laps down.
If, in fact, the problem for St. Amant is something that's depriving the engine of oil, it's probably getting very, very warm under the hood of that car, and Gary's just coaxing it around the racetrack.
St. Amant is a veteran driver, and you know what I've noticed? Once the leaders got by, Gary jumped right back up into the racing groove. I think the car is running well. He just made a very courteous move and let the leaders go.
Let's kind of take a look back through the field. Again, it's Jay Sauter in car number 1. Car looks almost like it did last year, but they decided to paint the numeral 1 green for this go-round, perhaps hoping to bring him some better luck. Jay won his first race last year. There's Mike Eddy, the 7-time ASA national champion.
So that means he's like won more than his first race.
Yeah, I think so. There's the 3rd place car. Johnny Benson Jr. started on the pole, but has yet to lead a lap. Although, look, Larry, he now has closed that gap dramatically between himself and the 88 of Mike Eddy.
Lost the championship, Benson did, by 2 points last year.
There's Gary St. Amant in the 04 of Bruce Lee, several laps off the pace, was involved in an early altercation. You see going by on the high side was the Quaker State Ford of Glenn Allen Jr. He presently occupies the 4th position on the racetrack and pretty much runs by himself, about 10 car lengths back of the 3rd running Benson. Now there's Tony Raines. He led early. He has now dropped back to 5th position. And you talk about a guy with nobody to race against. Right now he's looking for somebody to challenge. That's Tony Raines.
He's always been very fast at this racetrack. It was not a surprise to see him qualify in the front row at Odesa, and Bob Seneker's in the pits.
Not only is Bob Seneker in the pits, but he slid completely sideways. That pit road, folks, is extremely narrow, and he almost drilled the outside wall of pit road. There's Bob Seneker, earned 3 wins last season. Now, he's raced the last 3 years for Troop Motorsports, for whom Glenn Allen has taken over. Seneker back on his own in that familiar blue car number 84.
Yeah, I tell you what, I do like seeing that. And look at the all the loose dust, apparently, on pit road. Bob Seneker getting very sideways as he exits the pits. I like seeing that complete. Here's that moment you were talking about, Rob.
Our cameramen don't miss a thing,
no,
do they?
Oh,
what were they doing watching pit road?
Goodness.
They got it. There he is. And that's very uncharacteristic. I don't know if Seneker was frustrated about something or if maybe he's got a problem with the brakes. There's Kent Stauffer. He's your 6th place car. He was the fastest qualifying Ford. Began this race from the 3rd position. And a lot of people say, watch for him at Milwaukee. Now, we may start 50 cars there, but Stauffer is always strong on the super speedway miles and really getting some pressure. In 7th position by Larry Phillips, very quietly moving up through the field.
He really is. This is not quite, maybe 7th only momentarily. This is not quite as loud of a performance as he turned in a year ago. But here's a guy that you see him in the pits. He's visually an unlikely looking race driver, but he is very strong.
Well, you saw him early in the show. He'd like to forget last year and make this a good year at I-70 Speedway. Tom Harrington, who had several strong runs in 1992. I believe he's running in, I think, the 8th position right now.
Tom Harrington, who crashed so seriously here right there a year ago. There is Scott Hansen, the number 53 car. Scott has been the hottest short track stock car driver in America. He's won 2 races in different divisions the last 2 weeks in different race cars. He had hoped to do just a little better here this weekend in qualifying, but we're still very early in this event.
He won the Art Go opener at Rockford. He won the All-Pro opener at Nashville. I'm sure these other sanctioning bodies are saying, please, ASA, get your season started. And we've got another car up into the wall. That is the Randy McDonald machine. And of all the incidents that we've had so far, this is the first one, Larry, that has involved those styrofoam barricades.
Very ironic. And mention about the barricades, it looks like the ultimate disaster has just befallen Randy McDonald, high side corner number 3 there, but they are just styrofoam, extremely lightweight. Each of those 8 feet long pieces weigh no more than 15 pounds, and it's just styrofoam. And it's only a temporary mess, but it saves a lot of damage to the race cars. And the way McDonald went in there, it's likely he got very little damage.
This is an interesting marriage, if you will, between Randy McDonald, a 30-year-old youngster from Canada, and car owner Nick Vitt. In fact, McDonald has relocated to the Ohio area to compete this season. Now, he replaces a 2-car contingent. Jeff Neal and Glenn Allen Jr. drove for Vitt last year, and now Nick is going to try to guide this youngster to the Rookie of the Year title. He was the 1990 GM Motorsports Series champion. He won rookie titles in 1984 at Delaware Speedway, and in 1985 he was the NASCAR North Rookie of the Year.
Lots of experience on road courses too, which is going to come in very handy in about 2 months. In the Great American Racing Series, the American Speed Association, we're under yellow. Stay with us.
Welcome back to I-70 Speedway. You know, with the new season kicking off, the ASA brought something brand new to I-70 Speedway, this beautiful new mobile office on wheels. And with over 50 entries here at I-70 Speedway, the task of organizing and getting everybody entered into the race seemed to never end. And what is it that has brought all these teams to the ASA opener? Well, for starters, there's the ACDelco Challenge Series Championship purse. $2.5 million distributed over 18 events and at the National Awards Banquet. In addition, there is the Pat Shower Memorial Rookie of the Year Award, which awards $30,000 to the top rookie performer. Along with the obvious monetary benefits, this award also serves to pass the torch from season to season to the rookie who most exemplifies the courage and competitive spirit of Pat Shower, who was awarded the Rookie of the Year honors posthumously in 1981. And to further sweeten the pot, Ford Motor Company and Chevy have offered lucrative contingency awards to drivers who use their equipment. The Ford program offers $8,000 for first place, $4,000 for second, $3,000 for third, $2,000 for fourth, and $1,000 for finishing in the top 5. The Chevy program offers $4,000 for first place, $2,000 for second, and $1,000 for coming home third. If a Chevy doesn't take first place, the money rolls over to the next race. With the affordability of ASA racing and all that money up for grabs, this mobile office will likely be one of the most busiest spots at every ASA race in 1993.
Rob, the aspect of all those contingency prizes that I really like and really appreciate is what Ford and Chevrolet have done, because the odds are, except that Mike Eddy wins a lot of races, that there's going to be a Ford or Chevrolet that's going to do well in every race. And if one of those 2 brands finishes in the top 3 or top 5 positions, there are additional dollars. And it is significant additional dollars. It means a lot to the purse.
And we call this the Great American Racing Series. I think both Ford and Chevrolet have recognized that this is the true superstar territory of short track stock car racing, as the Randy McDonald car is being loaded onto a flatbed.
One of the other innovations of the 1993 season is a new flagman to the American Speed Association. Now, perhaps you have not heard the name of Roger Slack yet, but you will, particularly if you're under the age of 25. Roger's just 18 years of age, and perhaps it sounds young to be the flagman of a major American stock car series. My goodness, he's not even an American. He's from our good friends up near the Cayuga Speedway. As a matter of fact, if you've been up there, you recognize the name Slack. Yep, his dad and mom and grandma and granddad, they run Cayuga. And not only is Roger the flagman for ASA for 1993, which we're very proud of, he also wants to extend a 23rd anniversary recognition to his mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Randy Slack. And while we're at it, Bill and Irma Roberts, the proprietors of the Odesa Speedway, they've been together 47 years, and that's admirable in this day and age.
It certainly is. And by the way, lest you think that Roger Slack is a rookie thrown to the wolves in the flag stand, he's been at this at his home track since he was 12 years old.
Also, the ACDelco Challenge Series this year brings you another first. You can be part of a vacation of a lifetime when you join celebrity host Mike Eddy, man there driving that number 88, Ken Schrader, he's in this race, Richard Childress, who owns a car in another division of racing, it looks exactly like that, and Rick Mears. Now, he's a retired driver, so what is a four-time Indy winner worth? For the Great American Dream Cruise on December 12th. You stay tuned now to the Badgerland 150, that's from the Milwaukee Mile, on May 9th here on TNN for all the details.